All right, well, it's been a few weeks of me doing anything between my wife having some health issues again, me having a few health issues, the weather, waiting for parts, more health issues and whatnot. I have finally gotten out here to fucking cats. Yep, tore up my fucking cover. How nice. Alright, well, I finally got the right hose for this car. So, I've got a bad back right now, so I'm going to go ahead and... I iced up earlier, so I'm in just a little bit less pain. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get the hoses back on so I can put the coolant in this car, and then I can bleed the brakes as well. So that's the goal. Oh, good, my tools are right where I left them weeks ago. Oh, ouch. All right, so I have the other new hose here. As you can see, it's just sitting here in the dust because I wasn't expecting it to be this long. And we have our other new hose. Finally, they look the same. This part number ended up being that. It's weird, when I ordered the other part, it came up as for my car, but then it wasn't, so I'm not really sure what the difference was. I'm not sure how you really know the difference, because I ordered it based off of that information right there. 3-way hose, 2003 Boxster, base convertible. That's what the other one came up as. The only difference between the two cars is one, well, I don't know if there's a difference between the automatic version and the manual version. I wouldn't think they are, because it seems like the hoses go in the same spot, but maybe that's the difference in the hose. I'm not 100% sure. But after scouring the website for photographs, I finally found this one that had the same look that I was going for. So I'm going to go ahead and swap the clamps from that hose, because this hose has to go on first. Then I can put that one on, and then I can put the other two bigger hoses on, and then the only thing I have to do is tighten up the center drain on the fuel pump housing, or the water pump housing lower thing, and then I can start putting coolant in it. So hopefully this doesn't take but a few minutes. Alright, one thing I still want to get rid of is this piece here, because I don't have the under panel for. Just go ahead and take it off. At least that way I won't stop cutting myself on the stupid bolt. That one's bent up anyway. Okay, so we have that hose right there that still needs to go on. This one here. And of course these here. Now this is the one that goes to the top. I believe it goes up to that one up there. And then I think there's one hidden. There it is. There. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start fiddling that on. And that shouldn't take all that long. The only other thing I have to do is, you can see I've left a gap here. This is just in finger tight. And we'll just need to tighten that up. And that will be all of these down here. At least with it being winter now, there are no spiders. All right, so the first one I put in is that one in the middle that allows me to work with the top and bottom one. I put the clamp facing down because I believe that's how I took it off. This one here, there's a trick to this, how you have to put these in here. So once I get that clamp in, then I can go ahead and put this big hose back in where it goes. Then I can put this one here. So it's kind of a process. That's why I'm saying I had to do this in such a fashion, because this other hose sits flat and it's got specific areas it's got to go to. So that goes last. So next thing I got to do, get this one back out of the way, is put the clamp in place right there. Then we'll do the big one, then we'll do this one, then we'll do the other one. And I could put that one on at any time because it's not bothered by anything, but we'll get that one in a second. Okay, so it's hard to see, but hose is in place. Got the big hose in place. I've got this one on, and I just need to move the clamp. So the way I figured out which hose went where is if you hold this other hose up to where it sort of lines up, you can see that it only goes in one spot. So that made that one. So I'll get this clamp on, I'll put this other bottom clamp on, I'll do that one, and then I'll go up on top because I still need to find a ratchet so that I can tighten that back down, tighten that down. And while I'm up there on top, I'll go ahead and put the upper hose on, and that will be that. And then I can put some coolant in it. All right, so let me finish this up. All right, so I got the other hose on. I still haven't done the center, but I got that hose on. And the only issue we're currently having is with this clamp right here. I'm actually using real clamps for this, but I cannot get it over this knuckle. So either I have this clamp on the wrong end, so I'm going to go up on top and take that one off. It's not on the thing yet, so I'm going to go up there and swap it for this one, and maybe that's what it is, because I did not take the clamps off the hoses except for a couple of these, and I think maybe I got them in the wrong end and they're just a little bit different size, or this new hose is just a little bit thicker and it doesn't want to go on, and I need to get some sort of like silicone grease to slide that over. So first thing is I'm going to try the clamp first. Okay, so plug is back in and tightened down. Far side is connected. All of these are connected. I had to use a little lithium grease to get that one to slide. I went and got a different clamp. I just couldn't figure out why it wouldn't go. So I ended up using a 22 mil and it was still tight. But all the rest of them are in place, nice and tight. So hopefully that means no leaks. So I can start putting a little bit of coolant in it. I'm going to start with distilled water and see if I got 3 gallons of distilled water and 3 gallons of German mix coolant, the pink stuff, which was supposed to be in it. This car had green coolant when I took it out, so it looks like somebody, when they did the front passenger side radiator, probably put the wrong coolant in. But other than that, we still have no oil leaks, which really is really nice. So yeah, that's the next thing here. We're going to go ahead and put some coolant in it. All right. Well, apparently I do not have the correct adapter to put on that, so I'm just going to pour it in this way. I'll probably see how much I can get. So I'm going to do, I really hate to waste any of this if we have a leak, so I'm going to start with the water. I might put 2 of the water in and then see if I can start putting some of the coolant in. Alright, so I got 2 gallons of distilled water and pretty much 1 gallon of the coolant in there. As you can see, it's stuck right there. Now, I haven't heated up the motor. I haven't did the jumper on the fuse. I haven't done anything. Right now I'm just trying to let it just kind of gravity feed past everything at this point. So if I had the right connector for this, then I could run this tank up and that would help. But right now, that's what we've got to work with. So yeah, because none of my ends fit on there. Hey, I'm missing an O-ring. That's not cool. Okay. So yeah, so I'm gonna let that, and it is dropping slowly, so it is leaking past the thermostat most likely at this point. So I'm just gonna let it do that for a while. I'll come back later and I'll just kind of keep topping it off until I can get about another gallon of coolant in it. Then I'll go ahead and get it started, or I might do that now. I gotta go find the key. Well, we have a leak. This here is not a leak, but this here is a leak, and it's leaking from there. But the other problem we have is, for some reason, that exhaust manifold is flaming red. That's the first time I've seen that. So this is just from the overflow. So I am going to have to figure out where we're leaking. Oh, we got a couple. We got leaks around both, so I either need to go back in there and snug those down a little bit. So that's gonna be something we're gonna have to do. But yeah, that exhaust is way hot. This one is not. This one's normal. So I don't know if it's plugged, because it's never done that before. But I did notice that it sounded like it was running a little funny. So more work. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna get a pan here. And we'll go ahead and let that catch as much of that coming down. This one here, I'll have to do something to catch some of that. All right. Well, that's not cool. All right, well, we're gonna have to figure out what's going on, because it's never done that before. When I started it, it had a bit of a miss, and it sounded like something was plugged back here, coming out of the exhaust. It almost sounded like an old tractor. So, guess we're gonna have to get everything tightened up. I'll do that tomorrow once the car's cooled back down, and then go from there. All of this work may be turning this car into a parts car at this point, if there's something wrong with the motor now. Or hopefully it's just, when I did let it sit, maybe some oil accumulated down in there. I'm not really sure. Getting the battery disconnected here. All right. So we're going to call that a day. All right. Well, I'm not sure. Weather's supposed to start to turn nasty here again in the next couple of days. So I'm not sure how I'll feel tomorrow. But if I can get out here tomorrow before the weather gets too bad, maybe I can tighten up all the bolts around the thermostat housing and water pump and get that leak to stop. But yep, that's where we're at. Thanks for watching.